Hi everybody, welcome back to Happy Apple Core Homestead. Today we're going to talk about sweet basil. Here is a little sprig that I picked from my garden just now for you. And it smells divine. So most of my plants have been harvested already, but I let some go to seed for the bees because they really love it. And this is one that I just thought I'd bring in here for you guys. So we're going to talk about what is basil good for other than eating, obviously. I mean, if you've ever had a margarita pizza, you know what I'm talking about. But actually, sweet basil, now there's other kinds of basil, right? There's Thai basil, there's holy basil, but today we're just going to work on sweet basil and what it's good for. In front of me here, I have dried basil. For my basil, I just put it in the dehydrator, and when it's crumbly, I put it into a glass jar with a tight lid, and there's a desiccant packet in here, if you can see that. And that just helps if there's humidity or whatever, right? It's summer at the moment, so kind of most of you have to deal with that. We don't have horrible humidity here in my zone, but I know some of you guys do. Use more desiccant packs if you're, whatever, in Florida or somewhere really humid. Tennessee. If you're in Tennessee, grab a few extras. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry about my phone. I thought I turned that down. In this jar here, I have the sweet basil and 100 proof vodka. So this is going to be a tincture. I made this, I don't know, a few weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago or so. And so it's got another 3 weeks left to go before I strain it and bottle it up. And in this jar here, I have an oil infusion, and it's got dried basil. So this one here, the tincture, I used fresh basil and the 100 proof vodka. For the oil infusion, you always have to use dried herb because the water content in the fresh herb will not mix with the oil, and therefore it will just go bad. Now, typically I keep my oil infusions in I call it a hot box. It's just like a storage container with a seed mat in it. Keeps it like 80 degrees or so. And I'll let that infuse for 6 to 8 weeks, probably 6 weeks. And same thing here, 6 weeks on this one. Now I want you to stay tuned to the end because I'm going to tell you some special warnings about using basil in other than just, like your meals. So we know that basil is good on your food. I grow a ton and I dry a lot because I love it that much. I will go through this whole thing and then probably have to buy more. So anyways, it's not just good for your food though. You can make a tea out of the dried basil. And I mean, you know how to make a tea, or you can like find somebody else's YouTube video to check that out. But anyway, you're gonna wanna steep your tea, you're gonna make it, and then you can use it for digestive issues. You can use it as a gargle for a sore throat. So dried basil is good for a few different things other than your food. The tincture is antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial, but my personal favorite is it's an excellent bug repellent. So once you strain your tincture, you can put it in a spray bottle and just spritz yourself down and head on outside and, not get eaten. That's my favorite use for it, but again, it really does work good for any kind of inflammatory issues. I will, now, like I said, I just want you to remember to check the end of the video because there is a warning against the tincture. And the oil infusion, you can use the oil after it's done infusing and you've strained out the dried herb. You can use it directly as a massage oil for muscle pain, spasms, cramps, things like that, or you can turn it into a salve for those same purposes. And your added benefit, of course, is that it's going to be a bug repellent. It's also really good for headaches. I just want to give you a warning about using sweet basil internally as medicine. No problem if you're just putting it on your food, you know, you're making a margarita pizza or you're just having a tea once in a while. But this higher concentration in tincture form can cause some problems. I would highly recommend that if you are on blood pressure medication, that you do not use a basil tincture. If your doctor says, hey, you know, your blood pressure's starting to creep up there a little bit high, you know, let's do some dietary changes, you know, you got 6 weeks to figure it out, then go ahead, take the basil tincture. It can lower your blood pressure, but if you use it when you're already on blood pressure control medication, it can go too low. We don't want that, right? So don't use it if you're on blood pressure medication. It also can prevent clotting properly, so do not use it if you're about to go into surgery. That would be bad. There have been some studies, some animal studies, that show that the estragol that's inside basil can cause cancer, specifically liver cancer. Now, the only studies, scientific studies and journals that I've read were done with mice. I don't know of anybody personally, and I haven't studied or read about anybody personally that took too much basil as medication and then subsequently got cancer. But I give you that information so you can do your research for yourself. You guys, that's it. That is sweet basil in a nutshell and 3 different ways to use it. I hope this video was helpful to you. I have tons more videos that are going to be coming out about herbs and the garden, and I promise next time I will turn my phone completely off before I start talking to you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe. Hey, speaking of subscriptions, you know that 94% of you are not subscribed to my channel. You're watching me, but you're not committed to me. Commit to me, friends. Bye.